Hey guys, it's me, Joriz. Initially this video was gonna be a live commentary, and then I like for the past hour I've been failing, so it's like, all right, you know what? I know my limits. I gotta stop. All right, I can't. This is like a skill level I have not unlocked yet. All right, I'll talk about it in like the third video probably that I'm uploading. This is just not something I can do yet. Anyways, the game I'm playing is Roblox Tower Defense X. Initially I was gonna record Skyblock as the background footage, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I mean, you know what? I am the professional Roblox player. I did. Okay, the description is just something I just randomly came up with. I couldn't. You know how like channels are supposed to have like a description, and they're like, supposed to like describe you. I don't know. I just didn't have any. I just couldn't think of anything, so I just wrote down professional Roblox player as a joke. And so you know what? Yeah, hey, here's me showcasing some of that skill. Anyways, today's video is gonna be about my 5th grade school teacher and just general like stories that were happening during 5th grade. For YouTube, when I was like thinking of like video ideas, the immediate like first thought I thought of was, school stories. That's like an easy thing to toss out there. Like, hey, here's a bunch of school stories. I like a lot of others have been to school, and so I have a lot of school stories. And like one of the first ones I thought about was my 5th grade school story. Like I was thinking about 5th grade because it was like, 5th grade is kind of like a somewhat of a big deal. It's like the final year. It's the final year in elementary school before you go to middle school. And in middle school, things are like significantly different, at least for America. In middle school, like you get class periods and whatnot. In elementary school, you're usually stuck with like the same teacher, and it's like, it's a very different in comparison. And I was thinking about elementary school and thinking about like my final moments there before I left, and I was more so thinking about my 5th grade school teacher because I thought he was like a really chill guy. And when you're having those like memories or just things you're remembering, and you think back at those memories now that you're older, and you start realizing there's some like things going on that should not have been happening. Yeah, so I had that with my 5th grade school teacher. That's where I'm going with this. So basically, my 5th grade school teacher, he was like one of like the teachers that at the time I thought was like a really chill teacher. But now that I've grown up, I've realized he was doing a bunch of things that he should not have been doing, like at all. Like easily the biggest one that he should not have been doing was letting the students wash his dishes. The 5th graders, the 9 to 10-year-old children. Like, yeah, he was having them wash his dishes for him. And it's like I don't think you should be doing that. So basically what was happening is that, teachers, they'll eat during class. It's not a crazy concept. Teachers eating during class, not crazy. That happens like all the time, I imagine. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But like after they're done eating, they have dirty dishes. What do you do with the dishes? Well, some of my teachers, they took it home. They just went in, they took those dirty dishes, and they just took it home. My 5th grade school teacher, no, he didn't do that. What he did is that he'd wash them in the school, like in like the room, like where like there was like a little sink in our room. I don't know if that's normal. Actually, like thinking about that now, I don't think any of my other elementary school classes ever had like a sink in the room, but like his did, and he would wash his dishes in the room, in our room. And so there isn't like anything wrong with this. I don't really care. I'm like, dude, I'm a person who does homework at school. Like I try to like separate like work, or well, quote unquote work, from like my personal life as much as possible. I like that separation. And so, I don't think there was anything like wrong with him like wanting to do the dishes at work so he doesn't have to do them later at home when he's having like personal time. But I do have a huge problem with, and what I mean anyone should have a huge problem with, is having the students do them. Like, he would ask students if they would want to volunteer to wash his dishes for him. And some of the students would raise their hand. Like, there was a couple of students that wanted to wash the dishes for him. And I remember thinking at the time, like, this wasn't, like, a crazy thing. I thought I was, like, a little strange that I've never seen anyone else doing this. But I didn't really think that much of it. And, growing up, it's realizing, hey, he shouldn't have done that. He should not have done that at all. He was actually drafting children to wash dishes for him. Like, I remember one time he was telling one of the girls who had, like, volunteered to wash the dishes for him to microwave the sponge after she was done cleaning the dishes. And, okay, to be honest, I only remember this because I heard the phrase microwave the sponge after you're done washing the dishes. And you know, I wash the dishes myself like a lot. At the time I was washing the dishes also, and I've never done that before. Do people microwave their sponges? Like, is that what you're supposed to do? Are you supposed to do that? Like, he'd like tell us to like put the. I guess I should get this out of the way first. He had a microwave in the room. That's also like another like. He had a microwave in a Dude, he had a lot of things in the room. I'm thinking about it now. It's like. I don't think like any other teachers had that. I've never seen a teacher have a microwave in the room. I've seen some teachers have a fridge. I've never seen a teacher have a microwave. But anyways, he would tell the girl to put the sponge in the microwave and nuke it for 20 seconds. And I always thought that was like a really weird thing. Anyways, one of the weirder parts about the story is that I remember distinctly that I really want to wash the dishes too. Like, I always volunteered. I never got selected, but I always volunteered to do the dishes for him. And it's just like, why did I do that? Like, looking back, it's like, why did I want to wash the dishes for him? Because there was no, like, benefit. To be clear, he wasn't, like, giving, like, any benefit. It was a completely optional thing, and it's not like he was, like, making... Or, well, maybe, like, internally, he was, like, he would be more in favor of you. But he wasn't, like, giving, like, anything, like, special for doing it. It was completely optional. And I just remember wanting to do that. Like, I think maybe it was just because I wanted to, like, you know, flex to the other students that I knew how to wash the dishes. Because, like I said, I already knew how to wash the dishes prior. And some of the students, they had to get taught by him. And so maybe that's, like, why I wanted to do it. Never did it, so the normal person in me is, like, kind of happy I didn't do that. Because that would be weird and, like, you know, I feel like there could be an argument made that it's child labor. But the content side of me is, like, you know, it's kind of missing that I didn't actually do that, because that would have been kind of funny to say that I washed a student's dishes, or well, a teacher's dishes, not a student. Students were not eating during class. That was not happening. Anyways, this is the other story that was kind of like more like funny than it was like anything bad. There wasn't really anything bad going on, but like one time my teacher, he was showing like a group of like boys, and I was a part of this group of boys, a magazine. It was like a boxing magazine, I think. And I think, like, he was, like, in it. It was, like, pictures of, like, you know, people boxing. And I guess he was in the boxing. And he was, like, in the background. He was doing, like, the little SpongeBob meme of, like, oh, look, it's, like, me in the background. And I remember he was, like, scrolling through, like, the magazine. And, like, one of the, like, pages just had, like, a woman in a bikini. And it wasn't, like, too, like, graphic or anything. I don't know if graphic's the right word. But, like, you know, it wasn't, like, anything crazy. But it was just something that we like all saw, and then he quickly like scrolled by it. And then after he scrolled by it, he said, "Don't look at that." And thinking about it now, it's just like this weird moment where I was like, he said, "Don't look at that," like after we already saw it, and like after he turned the page. So we couldn't look at it again, but we already saw it, and he just said, "Don't look at that," which I just thought was like, I thought it was just like a silly little story. Anyways, here's a 5th grade story that's like not actually related to my teacher. One time there was a like an hour before class was about to end, about an hour before students were gonna go home, and I was gonna go in and well, it was like 2018, so I was gonna play Pokemon Brick Bronze on Roblox before like they got murdered. You know, like an hour before all that, we got a soft lockdown, and it wasn't a drill. It was like a real soft lockdown, and it was because that I guess something happened, and bees were attacking the school. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know what like. Who like pissed off like one of the Bee Swarm Simulator players, but they were attacking us apparently. And like in our like field, because our elementary school has like a giant field, there were just like a bunch of bees there apparently, and it was like not safe to go outside, hence the soft lockdown. And so after an hour passes by, school ends, and you know the students are able to leave. I think the soft lockdown was lifted because they dealt with the bees. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember them saying that. But we left, and I remember going on the field to like just investigate a little, just to see like were there actually bees attacking our school, like what was going on. I didn't find anything. But like looking back, it's like what happened? Like why were there a bunch of bees attacking our school? And like what did they do to get rid of them? Like did they get like a beekeeper? They like got a beekeeper to like get them away from the school? Like what happened? Like I don't think there was like any beehive or anything. There was like I like never see bees ever in like the place I live, so it's just like I don't know what happened, and to this day it remains a mystery. I remember when they like initially said this announcement, I like like the image in my head that formed when they said that there were bees like attacking our school is that there was just like a giant beehive that was just dropped in the field and there was just a bunch of bees swarming it. But that like obviously didn't happen. It's just what I thought of. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Dude, there was like this meme that was like making fun of like YouTubers when they're saying like, oh, but this topic can be a different video on its own, and it's like every time I say that, which I've been saying it like, okay, I've said twice now, but I've only made 2 videos, and in both videos I've said like, oh, this thing, it can be a completely different topic. You know, I keep thinking about that meme now, and I feel like I'm getting mocked, even though I'm not even a YouTuber yet. Anyways, this video is actually one of 3 videos. There should be 2 other videos you can watch. One of them is about starting YouTube. The other is just like a random video of just me talking about random stuff, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But you should go like watch those videos. Maybe. I don't know. If you don't want to, you don't need to. Anyways, that's about it.